And when I do go out, I spend a considerable amount of time getting myself ready, as you know. And so
Just a little bit of time.
it's a little bit of time, but we got
Since
to look
since you
perfect.
brought that up, I just have to address
Yeah, that's right.
a rumor, and you can you can verify or not.
Yeah.
Rumor on the street has it that it takes Kelli Perry 4 hours to get ready. True or false? Welcome everybody to the very first episode of My Girl Life podcast with the one and only Kelli Perry. How are you doing, Kelli?
I'm doing wonderful. And you, Maddie?
I'm doing good. Kelli is coming to us from Nashville, Tennessee.
I am.
Um,
Yes, I am.
and we're very excited. There's a lot of people that can't wait to hear from you, and we're going to dive right in. But I have a couple of announcements, a couple things I want to go over real quick, and then we'll get started. I just wanted to really quick go over the overall objectives for the podcast, just so people know kind of where we're coming from and what our objectives are. In these podcasts, we'll be talking to a wide variety of people who fall somewhere on the trans spectrum, whether that be cross dressers, fully transitioned trans women, and everybody in between. Again, it's truly a spectrum, and we don't want to try and label everybody and everything because a lot of us cannot be labeled, quite frankly. And I also want to respect everybody's boundaries in terms of what they want to share and what they don't want to share on this podcast. I've kind of broken this down into four basic categories that I'd like to dive into. And aside from these categories, we're going to take the conversation where it leads. The four areas are background, childhood, and beyond. Second is psychology and emotional aspects, feelings about dressing and second persona and navigating life as a trans person. And the third would be current lifestyle, like what's your daily life like, socializing, what's it like to manage those two personas, and then the future. Where do you see this going if you have any visions for the future? Lastly, we've got two segments. And the first one is called Girls Want to Know. And I'll be asking Kelli questions that the community has sent me, their requests for questions to be asked to Kelli. And we're going to do that in a segment called Girls Want to Know. And then we're going to play a little game called Two Truths and a Lie. And that will happen later in the episode, so you have to listen. And the first person that emails me what they think the correct answer for the lie is will win a special prize to be announced later. So Kelli's going to give us two truths and one lie. If you can guess what the lie is, and be the first to email it to me at maddiesometimes@gmail.com. That's maddiesometimes@gmail.com. With that being said, let's get started, Kelli. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready, girl.
All right. So let's talk about your background. Where did you grow up?
Well, before we do that, number one, I really appreciate you asking me to do this. I've been excited about it for quite some time, ever since you asked me. So I consider it a privilege that you've asked me to do this. And I'm honored to be the first recipient of this My Girl Life.
Well, I'm honored as well. That's great. I'm glad you feel that way.
So anyway, yeah, I grew up in California, born and raised in California, mostly Central California, Northern California area, Sacramento, Modesto area, and was born in, I guess you could say, Southern California, Bakersfield, back in the day.
Okay.
I'm not going to tell anybody when that was, of course,
We're
but
not going to identify that day. That's
no,
privacy.
no, no. That'll I could maybe we could do that. Use that truth or lie on that one, right?
Oh, there you go.
And I was raised by two solid parents, and I have a brother and a sister that both remain in California. Love them very much. Very often visit them, and we enjoy each other. We all get along great, and
Well,
they got
I have
kids.
a question for you on that.
Okay.
What who all in your family knows about Kelli?
Nobody knows about Kelly that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think my sister has an inkling, but she doesn't say much. She doesn't really rock the boat a lot in her life and others' lives.
She's not
So
confrontational. Yeah.
no, no, and so yeah, that's what I know at this point.
No desire to find out if she knows or doesn't know.
I've thought about asking her, but every time I do that, then she pulls a fast one, so to speak. That maybe I'm not willing to do that yet.
The trust level goes
The
down because
trust
of
level,
something else.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, the trust level just isn't quite there. So
I,
choose.
I hear you. I've built up nerve to tell my kids, and then I backed out a couple times just because of other circumstances that happened right before it, and I just didn't feel the confidence to do it.
It would be devastating to me for any of my family members, including my son, to alienate me because of this. So I choose, and that's just me.
Absolutely. Okay.
It's just me that I choose not to reveal my second persona to them at this point. Now, someday, maybe in the future, but at this point, no.
So it is in the back of your mind, and you do think about it on
Every
occasion.
time I'm with them, every
Okay.
time I'm with them, yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I look for the right time, but it just hasn't come down the pike. If you know what I mean.
Yep. Well, I can relate to that. Are you currently in a relationship?
I am not. I am not. I date every now and then, but I love going out with the girls, as you know, and so it's a lot more fun as a girl as opposed to a boy. You get so much more acceptance as a girl as
Just
opposed
a
to a
little
boy.
bit more fun, I would say.
It is. I mean, people. It's just amazing how they open up. It really is truly is amazing. As a matter of fact, I'll share a quick story. I
Okay.
met a person named Brooke Yarnell in Nashville. One time I was at the Sinatra's Lounge downtown Nashville, and there was a seat next to me, and she came up to me and said, "Hey, is this seat taken? Can I sit here?" I said, "Of course, girl, you can sit there, absolutely." So she sat down. We got chit chatting, and of course, this question rises that, "Hey, where are you from?" And so I asked her that. She said, "Kelly, you probably never heard of a place called Elk Grove, California, but that's where I was born and raised." I moved from Elk Grove, California when I came to Tennessee back in 21.
Such a small.
My goodness. I mean, she was just amazed, and so was I. And ever since then, we
Did
have
she
just
think you
been.
were maybe lying, like as kind of
No, because well,
a
we were
line?
talking about we were talking about high schools in Elk Grove, certain places to visit, and
Okay.
like the department stores and all this stuff. So we kind of validated each other, right, a little bit. So ever since then, we've been really good friends, really good friends. Matter of fact, we're having lunch next week. She is a singer here on Broadway in Nashville,
How
and
fun.
I try to catch as many shows as possible. And so, but she's just a dear friend, and I've been introduced her to so many of my friends that I've made here in Nashville. So it's been a good connection there, so to
I
speak.
love that story, and it doesn't surprise me that you made that connection and made that good friendship. That's
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. So
that's that's who you are.
yeah.
As far as work, do you work remotely? Do you have to go into an office? And have you ever
Fortunately,
gone in dressed?
I do work remotely, and of course, I gotta do yoga every morning, about an hour every morning, and I remain in my yoga outfit for most of the day. It feels
All
good,
right.
and it's just part of me, and I get energized by doing it. I work for a transportation company in California, actually, and I do all
Okay.
the sales for them, and it works out very very well.
Nice. Now, are you? I think a lot of us know the answer to this, but are you part time or full time in terms of
Uh,
dressing?
Well, I am. I guess you could say fluid. I guess a part time slash full time, but mostly
Mm-hmm.
part time. I just when I go out, I'm feeling more and more comfortable as Kelly, even going to the store, Walmart or the grocery store or wherever. And so I've done that more and more as I moved, moved out here and progressed.
And it sounds
So
like you're dressing at home alone sometimes because it just feels right, natural, feels good, puts you in a certain
absolutely.
mood. Would that be accurate?
That's exactly correct. Exactly correct. And when I do go out, of course, I spend a considerable amount of time getting myself ready, as you know. And so
Just a little bit of time.
just a little bit of time, but we got
Since
to look
since you
perfect.
brought that up, I just have to address
Yeah, that's right.
a rumor, and you can you can verify or not. On the street has it that it takes Kelly Perry 4 hours to get ready. True or false?
Yeah. Now that I can say it's true. Sometimes it's shorter, sometimes it's longer. But I allow 4 hours for the process to take place. It's
Because you
fun.
know how stories kind of, rumors kind of spread, and
Exactly.
you know,
Exactly.
and
exactly
tails
right.
grow taller, and 2.5 hours
It,
turns into 3, and then 4, and then 5, and takes
right?
Kelly a day and a half to get ready. No.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, and I think I can speak for a lot of the community that whatever you're doing, however long it takes, it's amazing. And
Oh, well,
you
thank
have
you.
you have been somebody I've looked up to and gotten plenty of tips, and you've been inspiring. And it's challenging to try and keep up with you in terms of always trying to improve your look and the presentation. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way.
Well, thank you, Tweedor. I appreciate that. And, I get inspired and invigorated by not only seeing girls progress along, but also the new girls come in and they start learning from other people, other
Yep.
girls on what to do and how to do it. And that is really inspiring to me because if you can inspire one person in this world, my goodness, that is worth its weight in gold, I think.
Oh, it's a great feeling. I remember Wildside started the Little Sister
Uh-huh.
program. I don't know if they've continued doing it. I think they might have stopped, and I don't know that TGR's ever done that. Have we ever done that at TGR?
Not really, because
Not
we,
formally. It happens
right,
naturally.
right. We purposely keep it small just because we want people to connect one on one during the event or two on, whatever.
Yep.
We want
One
to
of my
keep it
favorite
small. We
parts
want to,
about it.
yeah, we want to make sure we see the same people, at different events and just passing and so forth and develop relationships. And it's funny you should say that because I would like to start a program to where maybe two girls or four girls go out to lunch or something that don't know each other.
You
And
mean while they're
so,
at the event?
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea to pair. Get even smaller groups, 4, 6,
Uh-huh.
whatever, and
Mhm.
get them to do
Mhm.
something during the day to bond. That's a great idea, and we'll get into the events and specifically TGR Transgender
Yeah.
Rocktober.
Yep. We
And
will. I
so yeah,
got
I
a
want to
whole.
get a little bit more into that. Let's talk about when you started dressing. Do you
Okay.
remember what age and where?
Oh, absolutely, I do. I was 8 years old. I was 8 years old, and I was looking at my sister's swimwear one day, and I'm thinking, I wonder how that would look on me. So that was it. Then
I
I
love it. I
pretty
love it.
much graduated to my mom's bras and pantyhose and panties, and of course I did all this in secret in the bathroom or wherever I could.
Where was your sister and your mom? Were they out of the house completely, and you were just home from school alone or something?
Yeah, my sister was had a school year that was a little bit the days were a little bit longer, and then my mom of course went out shopping from time to time, and so
Hmm.
I'd get home, I'd ride my bike home and walk in, and there'd be nobody in the house. I'd go,
Were you
yes.
were you thinking about it all the way home? Like, I hope they're
Absolutely.
not home. I hope they're not
Almost
home.
every
Yeah,
day. Almost
love
every
it.
day. Yeah. Yeah. So I go, I walk in and the house is empty. I go, yes, yes, no people. But the downside of that is that you don't know when somebody's going to surprisingly come home. Like my dad came home one time earlier, and I was in
Right.
full regalia. I was in sister's boots, her top. I mean, every bra, everything. And so I have never changed so fast in my life
Oh my God,
before
that's
he came in.
hilarious. We've
Yeah,
all been there. I think most of us, if not
I
all of
think
us,
so. I think
have been
so.
there. Is there any one article of clothing that was your favorite, or that you kind of hated?
Yeah, at that time with the lingerie, of course.
Okay, because of the feel.
And
Was it the feel of it or the look of it,
it
or
was
both?
more the look. Well, I think both, but more the look
So I remember
and
the feel. I
the
remember the
feel.
feel of the nylons,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
think I think my
yeah.
mom. I'm going to date myself, but she had a girdle. She had
Okay.
girdles, and they fit really tight,
Mm-hmm.
and that tightness, around your hips and waist, and I can't explain it. It just was. It's
Oh
kind of like
yeah,
the
I got
first
that.
time you shaved your legs and felt them smooth. There's nothing like it.
I got that feeling with pantyhose too, around the
Okay.
waist and around the legs, and it just then of course you put the heels on, and you're just
Oh,
in orbit.
now it's all over.
It's in
There's
orbit.
there's
Yeah,
no
it's in
turning
orbit.
back from the heels.
Exactly, exactly. And to this day, I wear heels. I do not wear flats to this day. I just wear all
I
heels.
don't know how you do it. I've learned how to wear tennis shoes now. I like wearing tennis shoes and flops, but I wear heels a fair share of the time.
Yeah.
But it depends on how much you go out because your feet take a beating.
Well,
Um,
yeah, there is a story there that I'll share now about when I was born and how I was born. And of course,
okay,
I
please.
was the middle child of three people, three children. I got an older brother and a younger sister. So of course, my brother came along and my dad was, oh wow, this is great. This is great. I got a son now, blah blah blah. So let's shoot for a daughter. And so my mom got pregnant again. And back in that day, they didn't know the sex of the baby until the baby came out of the womb, right? So my mom went into labor and I came out and my dad was there and he goes, shit, I wanted a girl. I'm going back to work.
He did
And
not
to
say
this
that.
to this day,
He did not say that for
he
reals.
said that. No, but
Oh,
you know what? That was surreal because little did he know he had his girl.
do you think he caused? Do you think he caused it?
I don't know, but I
I'm,
think it was
I'm
kind of
totally
funny that
kidding. I'm totally kidding.
no, it's okay. I thought it was kind of funny that he said, "Oh, I wanted a girl so bad, right?"
Yeah.
He got a good girl. He got his girl. That's
You
me.
know what? That reminds me of a quick story. I used to get teased for having girl legs. The boys would say, "You have girl legs," and it would make me cry and upset me. And now look who's laughing now, boys.
Yeah,
Hey, if you can't beat them, join them, right?
that's right.
That's
Exactly.
right. Hey, girls, we are super happy to announce our very first sponsor for My Girl Life podcast. Our friend Amy Lamb is the owner of Just You and head transformation artist. Amy has been doing makeup professionally for over 25 years. She does makeup for different nationalities. The art of photographic makeup and techniques for transforming a man into a woman is Amy's expertise. Look, girls, Amy can create the look of your dreams. You'll treasure the pictures for years to come, I promise you. Amy does her thing at many of our events, and she would like to invite all of you to visit her in Las Vegas or come out to one of the many conferences she attends throughout the year. You can find Amy and Just You at online www.justulv.com or Facebook. Just search for BU Just You, by phone 702-355-5567 or by email at gb the number 2 amy, that's amy at aol.com. That's gb2 amy at aol.com. Or you can always email me at maddiesometimes at gmail.com and I'll connect you guys. Thanks again, Amy. All right, let's get into some interesting stuff here. Do you know why? Then I guess it gets into the psychology and the emotional part of it. Do you know why you dress? Or do you want to know?
That is a really good question, which
It
has
is.
been
It's a tough
posed to
one.
me before, and I don't really have a solid answer. It's just part of my DNA that I guess I'm hardwired for this, and I can't change it. And I love it so much. It gives me fulfillment. It gives me a degree of fulfillment in my life.
What adjective comes to mind when you think of being dressed? What's the first adjective that comes to mind?
Ooh, that's a good question. The first adjective that comes to mind when I get dressed: beautiful, fulfilling,
Okay.
pretty, sexy. All those combined. I think.
I
Um,
would say mine the first word that comes to mind is soothing.
oh, good
And
one.
it's one of many adjectives. And I think you could probably relate as you grow into your girl life. It the reasons you do it not change, but certain things keep adding to why you do it. Meaning, when I first started, it was just purely that soothing feeling, and you probably can't even explain it. And then as I got older, it kind of turned me on to dress, and that was in private. And then when you start going out in public, Now, one of the reasons I would dress is because I want to see my friends and I want to have experience, life as a woman out in public. And it's more fun, like you said. So the first reason doesn't go away, but the reasons why I dress have grown to now I have friends and places to go and I have people relying on me. And you have events you've put together and you have groups, right? So you're dressing for more than just that original few
Right.
reasons.
Oh, you could not have said it better. I mean, I really enjoy the people I'd go out with, and they look forward to going out with me. And they call me the little spark plug of the group. I got two or three different groups that said that.
Uh huh.
More so, I like the fact that it seemed like we all complete the group, and so we can relate one to another. We talk deep stuff, deep girl stuff, one to another. That is worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. You know.
And speaking of that, I think women really like to have conversations with us because as much as we dress and as good as some of us are at the presentation, you still have a guy brain.
Yeah.
Depending, some people maybe have transitioned emotionally more than others, but for me, I still have a guy brain, and I think for you, same thing. So they get a mixed perspective and they get some insight from a person they trust, and it's not a guy trying to hit on them or tell them what they want to hear. And so they get insight into the male world and we get insight into the female world. My genetic female friends have been a great experience for me, learning wise and support, but I've learned a lot about women. Maddie
Oh
has
yeah.
learned a lot about women. I wish I knew a long time ago.
One of my dear friends out here, her name is Monica. I asked her one night, I said, why hang out with us? Why do you hang out with girls like me? She said, Kelly, two reasons. You're not a threat and you're fun. You know?
Those are that is a great thing you just said. Love it.
Yeah. And
It
that's
is
so
so
true.
true.
Right. We're not trying to pick up on them. We just want to have fun.
And that allows us to have experiences we would never ever have in boy mode.
That's right.
And they're
Exactly.
they're they're deep and they're rewarding and the deepest relationships. I have some great friends from way back, really good friends from college and high school, but the deepest relationships I've had are through Maddie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Me too. It's
And it's a
exactly
gift.
right.
I look at that as like a gift of life.
It is. It is. Friends come and go, but the ones that truly inspire each other will remain and they'll
Yep.
linger. They'll endure over time.
I don't know about you, but I've never experienced so much love. I thought I knew what being loved was like because I felt loved before. I've never felt unloved,
Hmm.
and but it's a whole new level of being loved, and that was completely unexpected. If you'd have asked me, let me ask you this question: if you'd have asked young Kelly when you were dressing, alone and not going out,
Right?
if you were to continue to do this and you were to go out in public on a semi-regular basis, what would that experience be like? What would you have written down?
Back in the day, going
Yeah,
out in
when you first
public.
started out, if you thought, well, if I went in public, like I was, your presentation's probably not like what it is now, and you didn't have friends or whatever. Like for me, I would have thought it'd be a disaster, and that I would be embarrassed, and it would be humiliating to go out in public and be seen as I was
Yeah.
presenting a
Yeah. Yeah.
long time ago.
Well, and with anything else, the more you do it, the more confidence you will build. And,
Mm-hmm.
when I first started going out, I was scared to death. I mean, I was shaking, even just
Mm-hmm.
walking out the motel room, walking down up and down the aisle and going back in the room. I was shaking. I was nervous. I was sweating. It was just crazy.
I got my girl clothes on and then put my boy clothes over my girl clothes and put a hat on because I had my makeup. Wig would be in a backpack with a couple other things. And I would go down pretty much in boy mode and try to hide my face with my cap, go down the elevator, get in the car, and then finish up in the car. Well, in the very beginning, I would completely get dressed in the car from scratch in
Sure.
some park. It was Wild Side. It was my first Wild Side that I just found the courage to just walk out of that room fully dressed. And yes, I was nervous that somebody would get on the elevator and ride down with me, but that got better and better and better. And it was wild side and like TGR. That's why I say it's life changing for a lot of girls. I've heard that from a lot of people, and including me, that it's a game changer. It gives you confidence even when you're by yourself. Would you agree?
Absolutely. By yourself, as well as you know that you have a support group around you that will not be judgmental, that will take you in, put their arm around you, say, honey, let's go. Let's go. And I've had more than in my younger days, I've had more than one person do that, and I'll never forget it. And that's the beauty of what the community has to offer is, camaraderie, companionship. We all love
You're
each other. We
you're
give each
not
other
the only
hugs.
you're not the only one that thinks this way,
Exactly.
acts this way.
Back in the day before the internet, you thought we were the only weirdo in the world that dressed as a woman,
Yep.
right?
How about some
But
other reasons? How about artistic and creativity expression? I'm a songwriter and I've been putting together videos and editing them of the kids as they grow up and my family, putting music to them, and I produced records, and so I don't have that anymore necessarily, but Maddie is my artistic and creativity expression. Constantly working on the presentation and improving bit by bit. And so would that be one of the reasons for you? Do you feel like you get that creativeness expression through Kelly?
absolutely, yeah. I try to be creative as much as possible, and when I'm realizing that I'm stagnant, I go observing. I go observing in the mall, watching women walk, when women are listening to them talk, their eye makeup,
Yep.
everything, all aspects of pure, unadulterated femininity.
Yep. Do
And
you
so
do you analyze your pictures, Kelly? Look at your pictures that are taken when we're out, and look at your makeup and what you're wearing and the wig and how the presentation is and moving.
yeah, I mean, I can always see some improvement in how I pose, how I smile,
Mm-hmm.
all those things. Just really combine to make a more confident presentation. So with confidence, bring courage. And with courage, you can step out and enjoy yourself the way you truly feel you are.
I will say the one compliment I've gotten the most, Maddie's gotten the most, is the people saying, "I love your confidence." Of all the things they could say, it was, "I love your confidence." I really appreciated that, and I think when you have that confidence, then people are attracted to you and want to
Yeah.
communicate. Want to.
And it's confidence brings energy. Do a quick story at a TGR many years ago. Davina and four or five other of us went to the foundation. Oh no, the uh, what's that casino that the
The found
foundation?
the foundation room, the Mandalay Bay.
Yeah. Mandalay Bay. Okay, so we went there. We met some girls. Then we went downstairs to. There was a dance floor. We went downstairs to dance and whatnot. So we were getting our table, and so all of a sudden, we order drinks through the waitress there, and so about 5 minutes later, she brings us all drinks, and we get our money out to pay, and she said, "No, it's been taken care of by that gentleman over there." And this gentleman, about three tables over, he was with his wife or girlfriend or whatever. So we nodded and thanked him from afar. But a couple minutes later, I couldn't resist. I had to go over and just tell him, "Hey, thank you so much for this." And he
Of
goes,
course you did.
"It got," he goes, he goes, he goes. I admire you people for going out like this. I tell you, I could never ever have. He used the term balls to go out and do this like you people have done. Not people, but that group. And
Well, it
so,
does take balls to cross-dress, otherwise it
exactly,
wouldn't be
exactly.
cross-dressing. Okay, I just
Yeah,
had to
yeah.
throw
So
that
I
in.
think
Sorry.
no, it's okay. Going back to your original thought, though. I mean, the confidence brings energy, and people like to be around energetic people because that energizes them.
Yes.
And you've seen me out. I mean, people say, "Kelly, how do you do it?" I mean, I don't know how I do it. I just do it. I'm the Energizer Bunny. Just go out, day after day. I just love it
Well,
because
how
it's my
different? How
expression.
different is Kelly in a comfortable social setting, say at a happy hour or one of the bars you go to, versus your boy mode with some friends in a similar environment? What's the What's the contrast there? What's the difference?
The contrast is I'm quiet, I'm reserved.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
I was just going to say one of the reasons people dress, I put maybe only it's the only way they can socialize. Not completely, but you know what I mean. They're more introverted and they become
right.
extroverted when they're dressed.
Yeah, well, that's a lot. There's a lot of truth to that with me is that I do become more of an extrovert
I
when
didn't
I
know that
dress.
about you. I didn't know
Yeah,
that about you.
yeah.
I'm a loud mouth in both modes, so it does it
Well,
doesn't change a whole lot. My voice doesn't change, and I guess I've been told some of my mannerisms change a little bit. There's a friend I go to a bar every Friday for happy hour, and there's it's like my cheers, and one of the girls there we become good friends. She'll say, "Hey Maddie, your dude's coming out," because I'm
yeah.
either playing drums on the bar or I'm drinking my drink like a sailor or something.
Oh my God, right? Oh
She goes,
God.
Maddie, your dude's coming out. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, thanks.
I've been there, done that, girl. Oh my.
Let's talk about, well, we kind of got into your social life, and I know that you go out a lot. How often do you go out per month or per week?
Well, yeah, it seems like it lately it's been per week, but typically like every weekend, either a Saturday, a Friday, or a Saturday, or both. And
How many times
what?
per week? And I two questions. How many times per week do you go out on average? I know it changes. And then has that grown or gotten less as over the years as you've gotten older?
Well, I go out around 2 to 3 times a week, and it has definitely got more consistent, more increased number of outings over time. And I like I said before, I mean, I'm single girl, so
So
I
you're
have a
not
lot
slowing
of
down on the
flexibility.
times you dress and go out. It's
What's
actually
that?
increased. You're not slowing down any on the
Oh no,
times number of times you're
no.
going out.
And I thought I would be by now, but it seems like the more I get out and meet people and experience people, and you know me, I'm a people person.
The more incentive you have, do you want to go out and be
Yeah,
with them?
yeah. You establish new relationships, new friendships that you nurture and you want to foster and you want to grow. And you're not going to do that at home. And you're
Okay,
not
I have a
going to do
question.
that on the phone.
I have a question for you because a lot of my friends now know me in both girl mode and boy mode,
Uh-huh.
which is a whole nother level of acceptance and love. When they don't care who's going to show up, they love all sides of you and they don't judge. But I will say now, sometimes I'm like, well, I could go hang out with my friends and I don't have to get dressed. And that becomes somewhat of an energy issue. If I could snap my fingers and go out as Maddie, I'd probably do it 99% of the time. But
Right.
because I can go in boy mode and feel completely comfortable with most of my friends, Maddie's friends, sometimes I'll just do that and not dress. And then I wish
Okay.
I dressed. And I mean, do you ever cross um,
You're so much
boy and
further.
girl with your friends?
Yeah, you're so much further ahead on that girl than I am. I know just a couple people that know me both ways. But like I said before, if it's an event that I'm going to be at where I've made girlfriends as Kelly, then I'm going to be Kelly. And in my world at least, it would be rather uncomfortable for me to meet them in my boy self. Now I've gone out with a couple of people here actually that know me both, boy mode and girl mode, and there's no difference. I mean, we still have the same relationship, but for me, I prefer Kelly, and it's one of those things where the persona just kind of overshadows the girl persona overshadows the boy
Mm-hmm.
persona and in a respectful manner to me, but
Right.
that's just me.
Well,
So,
mine kind of happened by surprise, and I'm so thankful it happened. But Lenore, my good
oh,
friend,
of course,
um,
sweetheart.
we were friends with this community, and we were always together. It was Maddie and Lenore, and they knew us as Maddie and Lenore, and we went to a bar one Saturday, a patio. She had her dog with her, and we're sitting there having beers, and 10 of those people from that community show up. They're on a motorcycle ride. They show up for beers and they see Lenore. We're out on the patio. They see Lenore and I'm in boy mode. And it didn't take them very long to figure out who I was.
Yeah.
And so I was outed to like 10 of those people
Oh, like,
right away. And it actually was a gift because that broke the ice. And I'm like, well, these people don't care. They're still friendly. And so then I started coming out to certain people. If we go to a picnic and I've only seen them in girl mode, and then Lenore will introduce me as her friend, and we won't tell them at first, and then we'll kind of laugh and tell them, well, I see you every week, and they're like, what are you
yeah.
talking about? And Lenore goes, that's Maddie, and they'll just go crazy, and
Ah,
the reactions are priceless. We you know what, we should be videotaping those because some of them are classic, but so. And it made me feel better because after a couple of years, I'm like, most of my good friends, the friends that I do stuff with on a weekly basis, are all of Maddie's friends. And what if Maddie goes away? What if I get tired of doing Maddie? What if, my whole social life is relying on getting dressed? And that made me
mm-hmm.
nervous. And now
Yeah.
I don't I
Yeah.
don't have to worry about that. Um, but with that being said, that's kind of how I got outed, and it just happened, and it was kind of a gift, actually.
That's very cool.
Um,
Yeah. And that was like pure happenstance, pure coincidence. Those guys came in there, those
right.
people came in
And
there.
so
Yeah.
many things. How many things have happened to you that you didn't plan, and they were like, "Oh, this is amazing! I'm so glad I stumbled upon this, or I did this, and it worked out." And you've probably done some things that haven't worked, and maybe you've gone somewhere and you were embarrassed, or you didn't feel comfortable. You're like, "I won't do that again."
Yeah.
Um,
Well, okay. I'll tell
Speaking
you
of that,
two
what's the funniest thing that's ever happened? Give us a funny Kelly story.
Okay. So yeah, two directly opposite stories here. The first one is a good story. The good story is that, I moved here back in 21 and I wanted to make more friends. So about a year ago, I learned of this app called Meetup. Okay, so and one that popped up was called New to Nashville, and so I go into the
That's Kelly. That's meetup, MEET, right? Not
yeah
MEAT.
MEETUP.
I'm kidding you.
Get your mind out of the gutter, woman. So
Go ahead.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go to one of those and see what happens. So I go. It's a very nice hotel here in Nashville called the Harriet. Actually, the lounge, the rooftop lounge, is called the Harriet. I don't even know what the hotel name is, but I go in there and walk in, and
Wait, what was the name of the group?
it was the New to Nashville meetup group.
Okay, New to Nashville.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, New to Nashville. And so every meetup group has a coordinator. So I kind of memorized the face of the coordinator so I could go up to her eventually after I get there and tell her who I was and blah blah blah. So I walk into the bar. There's literally 40 to 50 people in there. I have no clue who anybody is. They're all straight people, no transgender. I couldn't wait to get to the bar to have a drink. Right? I said I need to calm my nerves here a little bit. Even after
right.
all this time, but so I go in and grab a drink, and then I sat over next to at the end of the bar, and I see Marilyn. Marilyn is the coordinator talking to somebody over, two or three people. So I waited for her to finish, and I go over and say, "Hey, I'm Kelly. Kelly, thank you for coming. I was hoping you'd be here." I'm thinking, "Oh my God, this is great, right?" So
Right.
we start chit chatting a little, and then she starts introducing me to all these people around the group. I mean, there was like a couple of doctors, and lawyers, accountants. I mean, all these like professional people, and every single one of them welcomed me with no issues, none whatsoever. I made so many new friends there. It was amazing. I stayed the entire time. I even stayed afterwards, of course, and I met a couple of gals there. That one was a beautician, the other one was something else. I don't remember. So we stayed there, and then we went to someplace else after that. I get home and I reflect on that whole experience, and I'm thinking, this is amazing in Tennessee.
Yes, I was worried about you, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, and it was all history from there because Meryl and I are good personal friends now. And I go over to her house for dinner, and she come to my house for dinner, and she had a lot of get-togethers, and she's a great fabulous gourmet cook. And so we've just shared some stories one to another and just gotten really close. She's really, really cool person. And so she, again, she scheduled every meetup that she scheduled, I go to. And so there's about, I would say 9 or 10 core people that go to every one of her meetups. And I
Mm-hmm.
know those people by first and last name, where they live, with their families and all this. And it's just like I'm treated just like a regular woman. And I
Let
am a
me,
regular woman, darn it, right?
yeah, exactly. What do you mean, like a regular woman?
Exact. I know. We could
Well,
strike that
that
one.
leads me right into my to a quick question. Do you ever acknowledge the fact that you're actually a guy to
No,
when you're
no,
out socially?
nope, never, ever.
Does anybody ask you questions that you have to avoid, or because I've been, when I get to know somebody, and this is somebody that I've met several times. We're actually friends from the bar, and so they're comfortable, and I'm like, they'll say, "Can I ask you a question or whatever?" And I'm an open book. You can ask me most anything. If I don't want to answer, I'll tell you. And they'll ask something about that, and just straight with them. I just tell them, yeah, this will come off. I don't tell everybody. It's just a select few, but I'm like, yeah, this will come off when I go home at midnight or 11. This will come off, and and so they
Yeah,
know that. And otherwise, I feel like I'm going to be avoiding questions and being. I feel like it facilitates the relationship and makes us even closer. And the ones that do know feel like they kind of know something that the others don't know. That's not why I do it at all. I think that's
right,
kind of
right.
silly, but I'm just curious if that ever, if you've ever done that. Sounds like you do not do that.
Well, actually, I'm resolved to the fact that many people who I am, okay, but they don't bring it up, and I don't bring it up. I don't
Right.
think
You
it's really
assume they
important. I
know.
had
It's not
one
like you're
guy.
completely 100% passable. You're
Right, right,
100% presentable, 110% presentable, in my
right. All you
opinion.
got to
But
do is look at my hand, and it's over with, right? So I had this one guy. He was kind of snockered, and he asked me an inappropriate question. He goes, "Do you really have a dick under that dress?" And I go, "Is that important for you to know?" And he didn't say a
that's
damn thing
what
after
a
that.
great comeback, Kelly. I've only had one bad experience. I've gone out, I don't know, 1,000 times over the
Right,
years. I have never, ever, ever had a negative experience, except for about 6 months ago. The guy was with his wife, and they were dancing, and they came off the dance floor, and he went to the bathroom, and I was talking to her, and she came up to me and said, "I love your skirt and your shoes, whatever." Of course, we're off to the races, right? You
right.
can relate to that. And then he shows up, and he's kind of skeptical. I'm assuming she knows I'm a guy, but we didn't say anything. And so we started talking, and one thing led to another, and he finally said, "So, do you have a dick?"
Ah,
And I didn't know how to answer because I've never been asked a question
right,
like that. I've never been
right.
confronted. And I just looked at him. I said, "As a matter of fact, I do." And he said, "Because I think something about, are you a girl?" I said, "Yes." And then he said, "Do you have a dick?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "And then you're a guy." I said, "Well, I said, but not tonight." And it just got me thinking. And for the rest of the community, probably should go through that conversation. And I sat down and came up with several things that might be asked of me and what I might say.
Hmm.
Like what you just did. I really like that. Is that important for you to know? Or have you asked every woman in the bar that same question?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. That's
Something
even
like
better.
that.
Yeah.
But I
Hmm.
guess I guess my overriding philosophy is I really don't have anything to hide. It's I guess I'm the kind of person that likes to state the obvious, not to the point where you want to make it uncomfortable, like you walk in and nobody even asked, and you say, "Hey, I'm a guy dressed as a girl." But
Right.
if somebody kind of asks in a polite way, or intent is big, right? When somebody misgenders you, I don't know about you, but to me intent is the most important part, because I've had friends misgender me by accident. Hell, I've even misgendered myself when I'm telling a story about something I did, and I've misgendered myself. And but it's all about the intent, and if they keep doing it, obviously then I might correct them. But I don't get messed up about that if they have
Yeah,
good
I don't.
intent.
I don't either. I mean, there's been times I just let it go. Why? I mean, why go down that road? You just
Yeah, But
What
there are
you
some people in our
seeking
community
potential
get
conflict?
really sideways about it, and well, I can't really tell them how they should feel and how they should react. But I know when I dress, I'm dressing to be like Barbie. I'm dressing to be like the girl next door.
Yes.
I'm dressing to be attractive and as pretty as I possibly can, and because I don't have gender dysphoria, I don't feel like a woman trapped in a man's body. So I know there's people in our community that they don't want to dress like Barbie. They just want to be a girl. They feel like a girl. They are a girl. They just want to
Mm-hmm.
dress like a normal girl. Maybe you don't wear any makeup that day. Put your hair in a
Mm-hmm.
ponytail and wear a pair of baggy shorts or whatever. And
Right.
I really respect that. The general public is then inclined to misgender them, or if they stand out, then they're a target, and I feel bad for them.
Yes.
And I don't know if that connects with you or not, but
Well,
do you think you have gender dysphoria?
no, I don't. I just, me, I like to blend in. Ha ha ha. I
You
just
don't
like
really
to.
blend in, my dear. You stand out in a very good way,
Right,
but
right. And I know people realize that, but it hasn't hindered me in my girl life whatsoever, except when girls come up to me, girl, where did you get that dress? I've got to have it. I just have to have it. So I tell them where I got it and all this. No, I don't believe I suffer from gender dysphoria.
and that
Uh,
probably is on a spectrum as well, just like
it is.
everything
It
else.
is. There's a degree
Um,
involved.
I feel like there's a part of me. Sometimes I say I should have been born a girl. I'm kind
Hmm.
of kidding to myself. Like there's things I'll do that are natural. I like chick flicks. I drink seltzers. I don't like hard liquor. I mean, I have hardly have any hair on my body. I've never broken a bone in my life. I mean, it goes on and on. As you look at these things, I'm like, yeah, maybe I was supposed to be a girl. It just didn't
Yeah.
quite come out the right way. But I don't, I really don't have that gender dysphoria. I have friends that have true gender dysphoria. They hate their body, and it's hard on them emotionally, and they get depressed, and I feel for them
Yes, me
because
too.
it's tough.
Absolutely. But like you said, there's a spectrum, there's a degree range of.
I think a lot of this stuff is spectrum. Hey, let's talk about where you go out. Do you go to LGBTQ establishments only, or do you go to mainstream establishments only, or a little of both?
Personally, myself, I find the mainstream establishment much more fun. For some
Me too.
reason, yeah, and that could be establishments that accept the LGBTQ community. It
Right.
could, but it doesn't have to be. So, like I go down on Broadway almost every weekend, and that's a place where you would never think that you would find, a woman like myself going into the bars like that, but and the lounges, the rooftop lounges, and just the get-togethers with other girls. But like I said before, there hasn't been any issues. I mean, I've gone into these places, and again, the more I go in these places, the more courage and confidence I build. Now, uh,
Why do you think you enjoy the mainstream ones more than the and I think you're probably not saying that you don't enjoy the LGBTQ because I certainly do.
correct,
Um,
correct,
but and I will say one of the main reasons I go to mainstream establishments more is because most of my weekly friends are non-LGBT, and I don't live in areas where there's LGBT bars. I live in a suburb that's pretty conservative. And
okay.
so, the local bar, my Cheers, it's going to be a regular establishment, non-LGBT. But so I'm not saying you don't like the LGBTQ
Oh
establishments.
yeah, no, no, no.
You love them, but why do you
Yeah,
think you like the mainstream a little bit better?
I think it's because my acceptance over the years, and especially since I've been here, have been so profound that it gives me even more confidence to go in these places. And I bring people with me that visit me from out of town, and the girlfriend that I've gotten close with over the years here like to go with me. And like I said,
And that's where she goes.
oh yeah, oh
Do you
yeah. I
think
mean that.
you think you get emotionally more rewarded going to a mainstream establishment and fitting in and having fun? Because part of what we're trying to do is we want to live life as a woman, right?
Right,
Even if it's for a
absolutely.
night. So living life as a woman, and we've spent most of our lives in mainstream establishments. To me, that's I am the girl next door. I'm that girl at the bar that I went to in boy mode 100 times, and I'm the girl across the bar or whatever. I love hanging
Yeah,
with my
I get a
friends, but
mix of that. Yeah,
yeah, but I also want to be seen. I'm not going to lie. When you dress and without, I want to be seen. I just do.
yeah, absolutely,
I think
absolutely,
most of us do.
exactly right, and we enjoy it. We like to express. It's all about expression and the love for people and inspiring people and people inspiring me. That really keeps me going here. It really does. It's just a joy to see people happy. You know,
And
there's a lot of happiness.
will you go to a mainstream establishment out of town?
Oh, absolutely. I've done that. I've done it in Knoxville many times. And so I went to a place called the Tiki Room, right on the river. And of course, I knew some people there, of course. And so I walked in, and I think I'm the only one in the only one in the whole place that had a mini dress and heels, and
That
everybody else
doesn't
had
surprise me.
shorts and jeans on. And said, I'm thinking, well, here we go. You know, you have to. Sometimes you have to laugh at yourself. You
Oh
know,
my
you
God,
have
I'm
to.
so glad you said that.
I mean, if you
I,
take yourself too seriously, you just be miserable. You just have to
absolutely.
laugh at yourself.
Everything from the funny things that happen, like you're trying to put the pantyhose on, or
Yeah.
these tops, the tops, women's tops. Sometimes my girlfriend calls them puzzle tops. It's like trying to put them on with the different straps and get
Oh, some of
your
these
arms
tops
through
are
the
so
wrong hole,
complicated.
and I'm like, God, these poor women have to wear this stuff their whole lives. I'm pissed off because I can't put it on for one night.
I know. It's just so confusing sometimes. But no, to go back to the original question, I mean, yeah, it's just I enjoy these places and they enjoy me. And I've got one place in on Broadway called Bootleggers Inn. They give me a discount for
I love
drinks and
it.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. They said, Kelly, you get the VIP discount. Well, I said, well, what do I do to earn that? And they said, you know
We,
what?
Kelly,
We
you
just
don't have to tell us.
you
Remember,
know,
I respect
yeah.
privacy. You don't have to tell us what you did to get the discount.
They go, you're just you, Kelly. You tag us every time you're out, and you just it's such a joy to be here. You know, with your friends, and you get around and talk to people, and you're friends with the people, the gals singing, and the banjo players, and all this stuff. I said, well, I don't know, I kind of like it.
Well, I think to summarize that, it's practice, practice, practice. It's going out many, many times. I don't think you can build that confidence going out one or two times. You can certainly jumpstart it going to TGR Wildside and jumpstart that confidence, but and not everybody has the opportunity to go out that often. But
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is the more times you go out, the more confident you get.
Oh
All right,
yeah.
better move on to some of these questions for Kelly Perry because the girls want to know.
The girls want to know. Oh
The
boy, here we
segment
go.
is
I'm on the
called
spot.
Girls Want to Know.
WK. Okay.
So these are questions that I put out to the community, and I said, if there's a question you want me to ask Kelly Perry, please send them to me, and I'll try to get to as many as I can. Community questions. Here we go. Girls want to know. Melissa Cole gave me a question. What's your favorite lingerie? What's your favorite?
You can't even say it.
What's your favorite lingerie to wear for your man?
For your man, huh? Oh my God. Well, all right. Well, my favorite lingerie is, of course, lace. I've got an infatuation with lace, and that's
Okay,
all I will say.
we've identified a kink, ladies and gentlemen. The
That's
lace.
right.
All right.
I
He,
expect gift now. All
she
lace
loves
together.
lace. All right.
Absolutely.
Victoria Goldscale has a question. Why did you start TG Rocktober?
My goodness. Oh, this is a great question. Well, it's actually a joint effort between Anna Nolan Jeffries and I. Short story. We were at a Wildside years ago. My God, 12, 13 years ago. We were on the couch, sitting, of course, sitting up on the second floor of Piranha. And we were chit chatting there, and she said, you know, Kelly, we ought to come up with something in October because it seems like May to May, it seems like it's a long period in between to have something like this. It's so successful and everybody loves it. And so
Yep.
we came up with TG Rocktober. the second
And
week
how
in
did you come up
October.
with that name?
Yeah. How do, well, actually, let's see. I don't remember if she
Well,
thought
it's
about it or he.
transgender. TG is for
Yeah.
transgender, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Transgender
Yeah. Yeah.
Rocktober, and Rocktober
Yeah.
is kind of, that's used a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and also Oktoberfest, rock.
Yep.
So some people call it Rocktoberfest, and I had to correct them. I said, "Honey, it's Rocktober, not Rocktoberfest." So that's all. It started with 12 girls that
And
next year.
and because you didn't want to wait a full year to get together, you're having so much fun, and Wildside was
Exactly.
so much fun.
Yeah,
That's
I wanted
that's
to
a
ramp
great
it up
idea.
quickly. Yeah, I wanted to ramp it up quickly. We got together again. It doesn't take very much to get 12 people to get 12 girls together for an event quickly. So May, June, July, so 4 or 5 months later, we started TD Rocktober, and the Troy has been our go-to place every year because they love us there. We get great views from the second floor, and it's just an all around good experience there. It's just been a great, great time. And of course, Tuscany is our go to hotel. That's been our home from day one.
Yeah, I
And
love that
so
place.
it's a great place. And so we were able to inspire people more and more, started the Facebook page to get involved and, got trying to get more exposure out there to where it got
Well,
a.
now you have to turn people away because you want to cap it to keep it small, which was the genesis of the
Right.
the whole
It's
event. And now you have to turn people away. We got so popular.
oh my God, it's just been amazing, especially this year. For some reason, this year just exploded, just absolutely exploded. And what
That's
happens is
awesome.
that people see the success of it and they want a part of it, and they see how close knit people are when they get here. They're not knowing, but when they get here, they realize that hey, everybody's in the same boat. This is us. We're having fun, and
Yep.
it's so much fun. So yeah, that's
And I will
how.
I will put some information. I'll put a link in the post when I post this
Okay.
podcast. And do you want to give them the website real quick?
It's tgrocktober.net. Pretty simple.
tgrocktober.net. Check it out.
That's it.
All right.
That's
Next
it.
question from Amber Dubois. I'm really not going to put you on the spot to answer these, but I do think they're funny questions, of course, from Amber.
Of
Um,
course.
she's got three questions. One is, how the fuck does Kelly look so good? First question. The second question is, where the fuck does she store 10,000 dresses?
I saw that. Oh my God.
And the
That is
third
so funny.
question is, why haven't you made out with Amber Dubois? Asking for a friend.
Tell her damn camera gets in the way every time.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
time.
because the
Oh my
camera gets in
God.
between you. Oh, that's hilarious. Samantha Hartz wants to know, what are your go-to heels for long nights out?
Oh girl. I don't wear anything less than 4.5 inch heels. And for some reason my foot was made for high heels. But when I do go out on
You
long
do have small
excursions,
feet. What size are your shoes? What size
they're
are your
nine
foot?
nines.
That's perfect.
Yeah. And so when I do go out for long excursions during the night, I'll try to wear more of a chunky type design heel, but I don't like them because I like the more the stiletto type design. It just seems, I know you're sacrificing comfort for stability or whatever, but I'm just, like I said, I'm just so used to walking in them. It's just second nature. I walk,
You
I put them on during, when I'm here alone too. So,
you do.
yeah, of course.
That's
Yeah.
commitment. Cannot. I am not worthy. All right. Robin Martin has a question.
Robin Martin.
Can a dress be too?
No.
Well, then it becomes a top.
Yeah, yeah. Annie Smith
Sequin
accuses me
tops,
of
but they're
wearing
really
tops
dresses.
all the time. Absolutely. And she'll see somebody else in a mini dress, and she'll, oh, you go to the same top store as Kelly. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
that's very cool. That's
She
very cool.
also she also has a question. Can you remove glitter with a vacuum cleaner? That sounds like an inside joke to me.
It is. And quick story on that one. Okay, she and
Yep.
I went on a she went on a cruise last year in February, and of course I brought my glitter and my sequin dress and wore it at night. Every week or every night. And so there's one time I wore this glitter that I mean this dress that just literally sheds glitter. right? Sheds it. So we went up to the bar and we sat down on the stool and we had a couple drinks and then we start to go to the show and she said, Kelly, look at this. And so I looked back and there was glitter all over the seat, right? I mean, literally covered. And every day, that was like the second night. Every night I go back to that same stool and there's glitter on it. So they never clean it. They never, I guess they figure, oh, she's going to come back again
They
tonight. Why
probably
didn't you
said the
clean it?
bitch is going to come back and dirty, get
That's
more
right.
glitter on her anyway. Let's wait till she gets off the damn.
That's right. They probably had to steam clean it, right?
That is hilarious.
Yeah. So, but that was it wasn't the funniest moment, but it was a funny moment. It was a funny
That's
moment.
awesome. Jennifer Gonzalez wants to know: does your identification show you as Kelly?
No, it did not.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
Is that one of your goals to get that changed?
Yeah, absolutely, it is. It is. It's not a priority, but it just hasn't seemed to hinder me so far. I mean, I
Okay.
show my guy ID all the time on Broadway. They go, oh, okay, going in,
Yep.
right? I mean, it's
Does Kelly
never.
have her
Oh,
own credit card?
I do. Yes, I do. It's a
Yep.
copy of my boy credit card, but they
Yep.
put
That's
my
what
name
Maddie
on it.
has.
Yeah, quick story about the ID thing. Kid Rock, I went to Kid Rock one time. This is about 6 months ago. And it was really busy. There was a long line. And so everybody's showing their ID and stuff. And so I showed mine. He goes, okay, go on. And then about 2 seconds later, he said, wait, come back here. And I show my ID again. And he looked at me. I go, that's me. He goes, okay, you can go on. So that was another funny story.
Just needed to check. Boy, you
Yeah.
went to a Kid Rock concert. Okay, well, that's a good
So,
one to know. Okay, here I'm going to interject the two truths and a lie. All
okay.
right. So we're going to play two truths and a lie. So Kelly's going to tell us two things about her that are true, and she's going to tell us one thing about her that is a lie. And I wanted to remind you the first person that emails me the lie at maddiesometimes at gmail.com will win a wonderful prize to be announced later. Okay, so I'd like to announce the prize for the winner of the Two Truths and a Lie challenge. And remember, the first person to email me the correct answer, which is the lie, wins the prize. The email to send your guess to is shared in the podcast. Okay, so the prize for the winner of the Two Truths and a Lie challenge will be a free makeover provided by our sponsor, Just You. This is a $125 value, girls, and I want to thank Amy Lamb again for sponsoring us. Again, if you're looking to do something special for yourself with a dreamy male to female transformation makeover, then please reach out to Amy at Just You. You can find Amy at online www.justyoulv.com or Facebook, search for BU Just You, by phone 702-355-5567, or by email gb the number 2 Amy, that's AMY at AOL.com. That's gb2 the number 2 Amy, AMY at AOL.com. So Kelly is going to tell us two things about her that are true and one thing that is a lie. The first person that emails me with the correct answer of what the lie is to my email at maddiesometimes at gmail.com will win a wonderful prize to be announced later. All right, you ready, Kelly?
Yep.
Two truths and a lie. And they're
Okay.
not in that order. They're
Right. Right.
they could be
Exactly.
in any
Exactly.
order. Okay.
Okay. First statement is my very first girl name was Jennifer Smith. Second statement, the name that I was using when Facebook demanded a photo ID was Kelly Sensuel. Third statement, Kelly has 263 dresses.
All right. There you have it. First one to email me the lie at maddiesometimes at gmail.com wins a prize.
That's
All right, I
it.
have a couple more questions for you, and then we will wrap up.
Okay.
Roxy has a question. When did you know? Question mark. Assuming she means when you. I'm assuming she means when you start to feel the feminine side needed to come out.
When did I feel feminine? enough to
When
come
did
out.
when did you first know you felt that feminine side of you trying to come out?
Oh my goodness. That was probably after I was married. Not
So
necessarily.
even when you put your sister's clothes on and your mom's, you didn't necessarily feel feminine like you wanted to
It was,
present
yeah,
yourself as a feminine. It was just more of a instinct.
it was more of a sexual gratification. The
Okay.
puberty was starting in, all this
Yep.
stuff was raging. You know how that is. And
That's
so, but
that's how I started.
I never thought it would morph itself into me actually going out. Not until after I got married, actually. I
Okay.
never went out before married. Of course, when you get married, at least for me, when you get married, you think, oh, all this is going to go away. All this is going to go away. Well, that lasted for about a year. And then
That's
it
when it
came
started to bubble up.
up and like a raging bull. It was crazy. So at that point, I escaped from time to time from the normal married life, dressing and going out and just enjoying myself and coming home. Actually, the trip home was more miserable than anything because I knew that it was over. And
That's kind of your version of the pink fog, right?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe miserable is the wrong terminology, but because
Let down.
I love raising my family, my boys, and all this, but I just needed that time away, and I think that's
Gotcha.
true with a lot of girls that are have realized that they want to get away and they need to get
It's
away and express
it's
themselves.
cathartic. It's cathartic. It's an outlet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a diversion, an escape, if you will. Just like maybe going to a movie or going to a concert or having alcohol or taking marijuana. It's a diversion, an escape. It
Hey,
makes you feel good.
some people like to go hunting, some people like to go fishing, some people like to go bowling. I like to go dress,
And
right?
some people like to put on pantyhose and heels.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly.
All right,
Exactly
Kristen
right.
Harvey says, "What's one of the happiest moments in your life?"
There have been so many happy moments in my life, especially at TGR when I see so many girls coming together and, you know, loving one another, getting along, all the crap that goes on in society is put aside. And I'm thinking it's just too bad that this could be taken out in the world to enjoy, to learn from. But I get a tremendous gratifying feeling by seeing girls get together and enjoying themselves and supporting one another.
That's
It's
awesome.
not,
And you were part of putting that together and making that happen. You've impacted a lot of lives.
well, it's definitely a team effort that, Tulane and Davina and Anna have all contributed over the years to make it the where it is today. And all of us get along so well. I mean, it's like we're literally bookends. I mean, I'm just amazed at how well the chemistry is between all four of us and how we can accomplish as a team something like TGR that has a great reputation, not only countrywide, but overseas as well. People
Yeah,
realize that and they want to be a part of it.
that is amazing. I don't know about TGR, but Wildside had what, 5 different countries?
I
Probably
think
has
so.
grown to be
Yeah.
even more.
Believe me, if it wasn't for a wild side, there wouldn't be TGR.
Yeah,
Yeah.
got to
There
owe it
would.
to
Yeah.
the OGs at
It's,
Wildside.
exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
Ava Thompson says you have amazing cleavage. Can you tell us your technique?
Well, you've challenged me to do
People,
YouTube
we
on
don't
this
have enough
before.
time. We don't have
Yeah,
enough
yeah.
time in the podcast.
Well, let me just put it this way: it's a combination of pushing and pulling and lifting and shading and
And
contouring and
wires and
yeah,
duct tape and high wires
right,
and
exactly.
anti-gravity.
Hey,
We'll
I
leave it
would,
at that.
I would jump at the chance to show people what I do. All they have to do is ask me, and it no problem. But in makeup as well, I love doing makeup on women, on girls like us, because I know that you know that they will be happy with it. And I've fortunately 100% of the girls that I've done have been happy with it. And so I continue to do what I like to do and what motivates others and what other people are satisfied with.
Awesome. Couple more. Katya, I can't pronounce her last name. Do you know how to pronounce her last name?
Is it Vanovich? Vanovich or
It's something like that. Sorry, Katya. I'm
that's right.
probably messing that up too. Katya. Katya.
There you go. Katya.
Um, Katya.
That's
Do you
sweetheart. I
ever
love
go
her.
out? Do you ever go out with a casual style? Because you're always dressed to the nines with the heels. Do you ever go out casual?
My casual is Daisy Duke shorts and a bodysuit
And
blouse.
four
That's
and a
my
quarter
casual.
inch heels, not 4.5 inch heels.
Exactly. I wear little thicker, chunky heels, but they got to be heels. They got to be heels.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's right. That's
And
right.
do you shop online or in store most of the time?
Most of the time, it's online. The stores don't really carry what I'm looking for as much as they do as the websites do online. And my favorite dress store or online store is Windsor. I love Windsor clothes. If you go on
Is it
Windsor, you'll
Windsor?
see
What's their website?
it's just let's see, I think it's windsor.com or windsordresses.com, something like
You
that.
could probably
I
you could probably Google it. Yeah.
oh, once you go on that website, you'll know why I like it so much.
You're the model in half the dresses.
Yeah, right.
I would
Exactly.
say
Oh my god, that's funny. That's
half of
hilarious.
my wardrobe is from Venus.com, and the last couple of years I've been getting my stuff from Amazon because I can order several different styles and several sizes all at the same time, and then returns are a no brainer, right?
Exactly.
And very
Exactly.
affordable. It's not the highest end stuff, but
Girl,
it works for me.
I just thought of the funniest moment in Kelly's life. And many girls will relate to this moment. Oh my God! It was in the drive-through line at Del Taco many years ago in Sacramento. I think it was Jamie Rhodes that was driving, and Karina with me, and a couple girls from Southern California. We were all in this one rental car, and we drive up to the drive-up and order our stuff. And the drive-through was not moving. I'd had lots of drink that night. Surprise, surprise, right? I said, this line is just not moving. So I get out of the car, and Karina's got all this on video, right? Karina or somebody else. Start going from car to car to car to car. Hey, how you doing? We are really hungry. Can you see if you can't move up the line a little bit more? And they were taking pictures and videos. I go in car to car to car, all the way to the little window there in Del Taco, and I go, honey, can you please move this along? We are really hungry back here. We've been drinking all night long, and we need some drunk food. That's all there is to it. Some sobering up food. And so, and all this
Oh
was
my
on video.
God.
Yeah. And then I go back to the car, and I didn't know this was on video. I go back to the car and open the door, and I think it was Karina stuck this camera, this video, the phone in my face. And said, what are you do? You're not videoing this thing, are you? He said, I got every moment,
We
Kelly.
got I gotta see I
You're
gotta
gonna
get
be
a
a
copy
star.
of that video.
And women that I've known over the years always bring that up. Hey, that sounds like a Del Taco moment, Kelly.
Well, Kelly, I swear to God, I'm not making this up because I'm reading right from my notes. The very next question after Katya's is Karina, and her question is ask her about Del Taco.
Yep. I saw that. And
That
and
literally was the timing on that.
oh my, isn't that something? Oh my God, that
Uh,
is probably the funniest time that I've
that is
had with
hilarious.
Kelly. Yeah,
I can see that right now in
everybody got a
my
kick
head.
out of it. Yeah, everybody got a kick out of it.
Um, Sarah Amanda Jones wants to know what's your view on hats. Can't remember seeing you in a hat ever.
Yeah, I've worn a cowgirl hat a couple of times out here. You'll find it on my posts, but I just don't wear hats. They just don't feel. I don't know. They just don't feel good on me. And I've got kind of a big head
I'm
anyway.
not. I'm not a bit. I don't feel like I look good in a hat. I don't
Right.
think I can carry it. I don't think I can rock it. I shy
Yeah.
away from the
Well, it's
hats.
pretty simple out here to get away to get away with a cowboy hat, because all the bachelorette party girls wear most of them wear
Yeah.
cowboy hats when they're out here. So yeah, Leah Taylor came down one weekend and we went out and she had a hat on. I put a
Oh,
hat
I'm
on.
sure she had an extra hat for you.
No, well, I've
Now,
got one. It's got, of course, a
okay,
rhinestone belt around the rim of it, of course.
of course.
So Yeah, and I've been out with a couple times with Brandy, and she wears a hat sometimes, and so yeah.
Both those girls can rock a hat. They
Oh,
can
they
rock a
can
cowboy hat.
clearly,
Oh yeah.
clearly. Yep.
Well, I have
Yeah.
one. I have one funny story, and then we'll wrap up.
Okay.
I was headed to TGR, and I was at the airport, and I normally take Frontier, but I flew Spirit. Of course, you know the suitcases are just completely loaded up with Maddie
Oh,
stuff,
of
right?
course.
And Frontier had a 75-pound limit before they charge you a arm and a leg penalty for being over. And I didn't know, but Spirit was 50 pounds. So I
Oh
get up
no.
there and I'm waiting in line. There's a bunch of people behind me. I get up there, I lift my suitcase up on the scale, and it's over 50 pounds. And she wants to charge me like $79. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. She goes, I'll tell you what, if you take a few things out of there and put it in your backpack, I'll let you go. I'm like, okay. So I turned around. There's a whole line, people waiting to check in. So I set my suitcase down. I unzip it. I grab a few things. I try not to open it too wide because it's full of Maddie stuff, and
Of
I'm in
course.
boy mode, of course.
Of
And
course.
so I grab a few things, put them on my backpack, and I'm rushing as fast as I can. And I put my backpack on. I grab my suitcase, put it back on the scale, and I forgot to zip the suitcase back up, and everything dumped out on
Oh,
the floor. Everything. And there I am. Maddie's whole world is out on the floor,
right.
and I'm in boy mode. I
Uh,
didn't even look up. I just grabbed stuff and threw it back in the bag as fast as I can, zipped it up, put it on the scale, and got
you,
the hell out of there.
you,
Oh my God,
you,
I was mortified.
you look around. You say, "That damn sister of mine. Where is she?"
Yeah, I am tired of taking her stuff all over the country for her.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Well, any parting words for the community out there, Kelly? I know everybody really looks up to you, and we appreciate all the hard work you put into not just TGR, but just being a good person and a good role model for the community. And I know people are going to be anxious to listen to this, but if you have any parting wisdom for those out there starting or wanting to take it to the next level, let us know. Hit us with it.
Oh, honey, thank you so much. Again, thank you for this opportunity to share. I know it's just a few snippets of my life that I'm hopeful that can be helpful to other people that listen to it. But not. I just recommend to people that listening out there, just own it. Be safe, but you can own it at the same time and express yourself. We only have one life. We just have the one life. I know it's cliche, but we only do have the one life. So you have to live it
Mm-hmm.
the best you know how, the best you can. And if you look back and think to yourself, that's what I do often, that if I think to myself, hey, I could have done that, I had that opportunity, but I didn't do it because of blah, blah, blah.
Favorite One of my favorite sayings is when we're young, our biggest regrets are the things we did do, and when we're older, our biggest regrets are the things we did not do.
Exactly. Exactly. Couldn't have put it better myself, girl. Yeah.
Perfect.
But
Well,
just, be
thanks.
safe, own it, express yourself, and just enjoy life. And with all those four elements together, you'll be successful.
Well, great. Well, thanks, Kelly. And I know you need to go and start getting ready. I know you need to be somewhere by noon on Saturday.
That's
So
right.
we'll let you get out of here and start getting ready.
Let's see
Um,
here. Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna be there for about 6 hours, so yeah, I'll start getting ready here in a few
you better
minutes.
get on it, girl. All
Exactly.
right, I'll let you go. I love you, and we'll be talking to you.
Thank you,
Thanks, Kelly.
baby. I appreciate it.